Hey everyone, it's Alex Ward here. Today I am going to be going over your transaction kit training. So this is going to be found in WebForms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking you through how to get there through our Paragon service. So if you are part of our Lethbridge or Calgary offices, I you'll have to just go through Matrix to get there instead. That this is going to be for how to get in there through Paragon, and then once you're in CREA WebForms, how to set up your DocuSign, AuthentiSign accounts to directly flow through, and as well how to use the transaction kits and help your buyers and sellers. All right, so let's start. Let's get going here. All right, so you should be able to now see Paragon. So this is Paragon. So what you'll do is you'll click on Resources, scroll over to CREA WebForms, and now this will bring us into WebForms. You'll have to sign in. It takes a little bit of time. Perfect. So this is your member dashboard. What this is just kind of talks about all the different forms that you've recently used, whether or not you have any transaction kits already on the go, and then a bunch of stuff here. The first thing we're going to go over today is how to set up your AuthentiSign or DocuSign so that you can go directly through WebForms and transport those documents into your virtual signing platform. So this little shopping cart here, it's called the App Store. If you click on it, it will bring you to here. So I'm already linked up through DocuSign because if you're not aware, Maxwell does have a discount, corporate discount with DocuSign where it's $160 a year, billed annually through your monthly invoice at the brokerage, and the year goes from October to September, and then it's prorated depending on when you join. However, if you are part of AuthentiSign, you can just directly sign up here or go through all the other ones. So we're going to go back to your dashboard. So to create a transaction kit, and what a transaction kit is, think about it this way. This is your group of forms for your buyer or your seller. So what I like to do is if I have a selling client, I will put the address, I'll put either the client's name and then their address. To me, that indicates that it's a sale. So like here, I have the client's name and then I have the address. So I know that is a listing client. If it's a purchase and I know specifically which property they're looking at purchasing, I'll put their name, purchase, and address. And if they're just generically looking at buying, I'll just put their name because then it could be, we might have to be doing multiple purchase contracts for multiple clients. So let's click on the transaction. So now we're going to create the transaction. Again, so this is going to be your place where all your forms are going to be. So we're going to have all right, so we've named the transaction. For me to know who it is, it's going fake seller, seller's name, their address, and then I'm going to click on template. So these templates I've created for all scenarios except commercial purchases and sales because those, and leases, because those can be different depending on what you're going with. So we have country residential buyer's kit, country residential seller's kit, residential condo buyer's kit, residential condo seller's kit, residential single family buyer's kit, residential single family seller's kit. So for this scenario, I'm going to go in and click residential single family seller's kit. I'm not going to import any data because that's going to require me to put an MLS number. So I am doing this as a listing. I don't have an MLS number yet, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm then also going to be representing them as the selling agent, and I'm going to take away the wizard. So now I'm going to create my transaction kit. So now it's going to bring you to the details page. Whatever you put in here will translate over into all the forms, but you don't need to fill this out. This is just generic information. If you'd like to, then it will transport over. If we had put in an MLS number, it would be pre-filling a bunch of this stuff. But I'm going to click on forms. You will see every possible form you could possibly need for selling a residential single-family home has already been preloaded for you. So you do not need to go and try and find specific forms if you use the transaction kits. The transaction kits will have everything you need to be able to do your listing properly. So we'll even notice here that we have the Maxwell Devonshire Realty listing checklist. We have our trade record sheet, right? So if you're unaware or don't know or can't remember exactly what you need for every transaction, just click on the new listing checklist. You can pre-fill this. So again, mine is 123, not real street. And this is going to be in some town in the province of Alberta. Don't worry about that. Their name was Fake Seller. Let's just say the lot was 1, block was 8, plan is 89, 60, 46, 7, 15, zone 42. Right, vendor, phone number, same thing. But then here is, you'll need this to go on anyways, but you need the consumer relationship guide. Once you've put it on MLS, you will need the MLS highlight sheet. We will need FinTrack, and if it is done through a corporation, we will need corporate FinTrack. And then we will need individual FinTrack for all of the board, all of the directors. You'll need your exclusive representation agreement. DA stands for designated agency, which we are designated agency. So if you're using the templates, you're good to go. All of the forms uploaded are the correct forms. RMS drawings and measurements for all listings. So you'll need this. It won't be on WebForms, but if you do them yourself or if you have a company do them for you, they can provide you a PDF. This is if you're doing the input sheet, is if we're uploading it or the board's uploading it. You will need a copy of land titles. If it's vacant, condominium or country residential schedule do not apply in this case, and RPR with compliance. All right. Do you need us to install a yard sign? Yes. Are there any special instructions for it? So topper, finished basement. Do you need us to order land titles, survey plan, condo plans? Would you like it on the brokerage Facebook marketplace? If yes, just click this and then either Amanda or Skylar will let me know and then we'll upload it for you and get it being promoted on our brokerage Facebook account. If you'd like it on the in-house signage, this is what goes on the TVs here in the Edmonton office, which gets an absolute ton of walk-by traffic, even when it's super cold out like it is today. And video or rotation has been proven to get more eyeballs on it than just a standard form that's saying blank in a window. Would you like us to send a letter to the client? And if you do know their email addresses, please put these in here as well. So now I'm going to save and exit. But I'm going to remember what was on that sheet. So we had consumer. When you're doing your search here, you can look through all the forms. They'll be out there. It's easier if you just click a search. Pretend it's very, very simple base. So don't put too much information into it. Use the least amount of letters possible, and then you will find exactly what you're looking for. So we'll click on the consumer relationship adding. I'm going to be sending it through DocuSign later today, so they're going to sign it today. It was fake seller, right? So then they're going to sign. The other form was the representation. So you'll see preloaded that if you end up doing it, you'll have the agreement to represent both seller and buyer. You also have an amendment is here, seller representation, dower consent acknowledgement if needed, tenancy schedule if needed, your termination agreement is needed if needed, if there's any defect disclosure instructions. But this is one we're looking for right now, the exclusive seller representation card. So you'll see that it's already preloaded with some of the information that we put in the other forms. So you're going to fill out this with your stove, right? Washer, dryer, etc. Do not write etc. Actually fill out everything. The plan didn't come over, but the block and lot did. So I can't remember exactly what I put, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Is the property schedule needed or the country residential? Whatever list price you're going to put it at. So we're going to put this. This is a beautiful property. So we're going to put it at $999,000. When is the proposed possession date? So you can pick a specific date. If you pick a specific date, then you must have that on your on the highlight sheet on what goes to MLS. But we're just going to put 30 days negotiable, which again must match exactly. We appoint myself to be their representative. This is when the property actually goes live. So we're going to be signing it today, but I'm not anticipating getting my photos or my RMS back probably until middle of next week. So I want this to actually go live on Thursday, February 11th. I'm then going to have this listing live. It must be live for a minimum of 60 days to be on MLS, but I want it to be live for a few more, so I'm going to actually have it go live until June 30th. Get both initials. You put your agreement number, so this is just going to be 111. Good try. So then this is going to also carry over to all of the agreements later on. If you go through the templates and you already have them this way, all the information you put on one transfers over to the other documents, so you don't have to continue to re-input everything. So I'm going to click yes for 5.2 here. They are going to authorize me to put a lockbox on. I'm going to advertise on social media accounts. I'm going to have professional photos done and 3D tour and conduct open houses as per provincial guidelines. I'm going to put 30 days there. What's my fee? My fee is 7% on the first 100,000 and 3% on the remainder. Remember, your fees are your discretion. You are your own business. Your fees are negotiable for whatever you choose. This is just what I am putting in for this, and the remainder of the sale price. I'm going to be offering 3.5% on the first 100,000 and 1.5% on the remainder of the sale price. So I'm going to put 30 days, 30 days. This is your discretion. So 10.7 is if they change their mind and they terminate the agreement before the agreed upon June 30th expiry date, then this is allowing you to be able to recoup some of your costs. So you could put, if you put NA, that means you will not get anything, you don't have a right to anything if it gets terminated prior to the June 30th, but you could put $1,000 for marketing expenses, right? It's up to you. So we'll leave that one just as $1,000 for marketing expenses. Of course, definitely read over all of these. You do need to make sure that you read them all. I kind of pass over dower. 8.1 dower, you only need, dower is only a concern. In this case, there's only one person on title. So I have to ask, are you legally married? If the answer is yes, then they need dower consent. Yes to both of them. So no, they are not legally married, therefore dower would not apply. But have you and your spouse resided on the property at any time since your marriage? No, there is no. So all good. 14.1, definitely make sure you ask these questions. You will need to fill out your disclosure form if they are a yes to any of them, or you might need to be disclosing that to potential buyers depending on what the defect is. So anyway, this is, and then they're signing it today. Perfect. So now when I click save and exit, so now we have the consumer relationship guide, we have our exclusive representation agreement, we have our checklist filled out. Those are the three main ones. And then FinTrack, you can just grab, fill it out as you go, and upload. The property happens to be vacant, so I will also need a hold harmless form so that it can be seen. This is Edmonton board only for the hold harmless form. Calgary and Lethbridge do not require this. But you'll see that it's already pre-filled, right? It's got my name, it's got the seller's name. All it's missing is the MLS number because we don't know that yet. Now, I want to bring these to DocuSign because I use DocuSign. So I'm going to go consumer, check. Exclusive representation agreement, check. I'm going to have the new listing checklist, check. I'm going to have FinTrack, check. I didn't pre-fill the FinTrack, definitely you can, right? Came in with the address. It will require you to fill out all of the pieces that you will need. So let's just go like this. Okay. So Word, I verified it today. Fake name or fake seller, I think was the name. Address 111, not real. Street. Date of birth is Jan 1, 2000. I'm dealing with a 20-year-old. Occupation, no real job, right? I'm using a driver's license. The number is whatever. Make sure you're actually using the real stuff. It's done in Alberta, Canada, and its expiry date is not today. Let's just say it expires in May. Right? Then don't need to worry about credit file. Not used by a third party, so no. So then don't worry about third party records. Physically present. Residential property. Okay. Now, because I went into it, I lost all the ones that were in my bucket here. So I'm going to re-put them in. So I'm going to put in consumer relationship guide. I'm going to put in the exclusive seller representation agreement. I don't need them to sign FinTrack or that, but I'm going to also then put in the hold harmless form because they need to sign that. Now I'm going to click on the bucket here. It's going to bring you up a whole bunch of options. So you can either send it to DocuSign or Authentisign. You can just copy them. You can download them to a zip. You can print them out. You can download them as one PDF. You can send it through an email or a fax, or you can just delete them from your thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them to DocuSign. Because I happen to be on a Mac, it blocks my pop-up window, so I have to go up here and click on it. Right? And now it's going to bring me into DocuSign. This window stayed open, so then I can close it, and I'm still in here. But then this is where I would then add who it's selling to, or sending it to, fill it out, but you see everything transferred over. So I just then need to fill it out, do my initials, do all my stuff, and then send it off. And then you'll have it in your, as a PDF in your DocuSign or Authentisign account. So that is doing a seller. And see, now we've gone back to the dashboard and it's right here. So now let's do a buyer's kit. So again, this is going to be just a generic buyer's kit. So I'm just going to do buyer kit demo. We're going to use a template. We're going to actually do a condo buyer kit. This one, if I knew a specific MLS address that they were interested in specifically purchasing, then I could click either Edmonton or Calgary Real Estate Board or Lethbridge Board. You can input the MLS number and then it'll pre-fill a bunch of that stuff. For this, we don't know the generic, we don't know the MLS number because we just did a buyer's presentation with them. They're brand new, first-time home buyers looking, so they don't know specifically what they want, so we aren't going to do that. I'm going to click Buying Agent, and then I'm going to get rid of Wizard and click Create. So while this is thinking, it'll bring us in. We'll have a new transaction again. Again, all of the information from here. You can also delete this transaction. So if you did it by mistake, you can put it as, if you're wanting to use this as a miniature CRM, you can put it as, leave it as open, you can put it as expired, conditional, all of that, just so then you'll be able to keep an idea of where your clients are. Forms, and again, it has every possible form you could need, including the seller and buyer hold harmless agreements. Your trade record forms are found here. Your receipt of funds is found here, right? So again, consumer relationship guide. All your buyer broker, well, if you're looking, go exclusive. There's your exclusive amendment. There's your exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. There's your exclusive termination agreement. There is an non-exclusive buyer brokerage agreement, depending on your situation, right? So let's go with this one. Again, brokerage name here, buyer's names go here. What type of property are they looking for? The market area that they're looking in. Who is going to be representing this? So this goes your name. When is the agreement going to officially begin? When is it going to end? What is your fee? So again, you are in charge of charging your own fees. But make sure, if you're using an exclusive, that you write it out in full. And the reason why you want to write it out in full, well, it won't let me, is because if you read down here, if the money paid to us, and that is us as being the brokerage, is more than our fee, we must refund you the difference within 30 days after this agreement ends. If our fee is more than the money you paid us and your retainer, you must pay us the difference within 30 days. But that first line, if you, for whatever reason, put $0 because you're wanting an exclusive, but you don't want to commit them to having to pay you a fee. Well, guess what? If they read the agreement and you helped them buy a house and you earned any commission off of that, you would have to give your buyer all of your commission. So don't do that. Put your fee in. If you don't want to have the conversation about what your fee is, use a non-exclusive. I would always recommend using an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. There are some rare circumstances where non-exclusive could be appropriate. However, for the majority of the time, use an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. Put your fee in there. If you want to have some coaching and discussion about how to bring this up in conversation to make it not awkward and how to be able to bring this document up and have your clients willing to sign it, talk to me. Let's do some, we can have some one-on-one coaching. We can do some role play. However, get used to filling out your fee in completion, whether that's 2% of sale price. That doesn't matter, right? Because I know some markets go 2% of the sale price. put that in. You are in control of your own fees. Whatever you put in there is what you can put in. As well, having it in here gives you the legal ability to put it into a purchase contract. If you're dealing with a 1%, a 2%, potentially a Purple Brick's not offering full commission, a for sale by owner, any of the other discount brokerages where they are not offering your full fee, having it in your exclusive buyer brokerage agreement gives you that ability to then be able to put it into the purchase contract. Your other option would be a fee agreement. However, read this over, you fill out the buyer information here, right? So this was not a real buyer, I think, real buyer, their name, address, all of that. Goes into representative, brokerage, when they signed, all of that. Again, so right, if you click rep, it has the agreement to represent both the buyer and seller. You would need to do a customer status. So I think we even have no customer status on this because you'd have to go in and do your own, another one for the listing, but I think fee agreement is here. Fee disclosure is in here, right? Everything you could possibly need is in here. So this is how you do it. Again, when you're wanting to bring it up, click on it, bring it to your basket, transport it to your DocuSign or Authentisign account. Right? If I wanted to download it as a PDF, this is the name that it's going to be under. That's the PDF name. And then I just save. Brings it up, downloads it. You guys can't see it, but it brought it into my preview. So then that is how you do a transaction kit. So again, if you wanted to delete one, all you do is click here, menu, delete transaction, yes. Right? And then I can do the same thing. Delete transaction, yes. And then there we go. So again, this is where you're going to find your trade record forms. You can also find your trade record forms on Max Central. This is where you're going to find your all of your documents in one easy spot. Use the kits. The kits are going to be your friend. They have everything you need already uploaded in there, so you don't have to worry about going to find individual forms. If you needed to find an individual form, just as a one-off, you go on the left side here, this little document, click Forms. Again, try and use the most generic stuff possible. Maxwell Devonshire Realty has a bunch of forms. These are all also found in, I'm going to delete this one. Don't have this one anymore, so I need to get this deleted. But this is where all of your stuff is also found on Max Central in Resource Library. But let's just say you needed a fee agreement. Right, so then it brings you into seller customer status acknowledgement and fee agreement. Right, are you looking for the real estate Alberta, residential, forms, agricultural? Basically all the same ones. So you would click this one. Then would you like to start from a new transaction? We'll bring you into a transaction kit. The standalone form just means it's only this one time, or create new form and add to an existing transaction. Right, so if you already have the buyer, but now you're going to start representing the seller as just as a customer, and you want to add it into one of those, you can just go click it on which one you want. And because I didn't click open transaction kit, it just brings me in here. So because I already pre-filled everything, it has all the buyer brokerage information, the seller information you'd need to fill out, right? So buyer's brokerage, what the seller will pay the brokerage. So let's just, for an example, use 3% on the first 100,000 and 1.5% on the remainder of sale price. Or you could put a flat amount, $10,000. right? And then read it over, witness of, all this. So this is not a customer, this is just a seller customer status acknowledgement and fee agreement. If you're putting it into the purchase contract, you wouldn't use this one. You would just use a customer status form. But this is the easy way of doing customer status with the fee agreement already in place, so then it doesn't have to go into the purchase contract. And then save and exit. If I wanted to delete a form from a particular, right? So in here, I'm in the purchase agreement. Right? It was an agricultural form, seller acknowledge. I just click here, or I can click menu, and then I can just click delete. And then it's gone from my transaction kit. So that is how you use Transaction Kit. That's how you get to CREA WebForms. If you have any specific questions, definitely give me a call or a text, but that is how you do it. So I would highly recommend using the Transaction Kits because it has all your documents preloaded, but if you need to add in one or two, that is how you do it. As always, hope you're having a great day. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.